Reading-based Thames Water is fined a record £104 million for sewage discharges. The company's already billions in debt, so what now for customers?
Good evening. Thames Water, the largest water company in the UK, has been fined a record £104 million by the water regulator for failing to manage its sewage spills.
The Reading-based company has come under heavy criticism for releasing too much pollution into our rivers over the years. Now Ofwat has imposed a fine for its management of wastewater treatment and sewer systems.
The one swimmer in Henley has welcomed the news, saying it's the final nail in the coffin for the company. With more, Kieran Fitzpatrick.
A water firm already in crisis, now handed a record £104 million fine. Sewage being dumped into our rivers or pouring onto our streets is a scene we're becoming all too used to, from the Berkshire village of Lambourne to high levels of E. coli in the River Thames in Henley.
This year has been terrible. So, where we're actually standing is on the regatta course, and we've seen some very alarming levels of E. coli on this stretch of river, even going back to last week when we did a test.
Just in the last 2 years, it's become much worse. It's unhealthy, it's murky, you can't see the bottom anymore. Thames Water haven't got the money to pay. It's a nail in their coffin. I think it may well be the final nail in their coffin, which is fine. They need to go under. Something big needs to happen in order for there to be a decent change so that we can change the state of our rivers.
Water regulator Ofwat found nearly 70% of Thames Water's treatment plants had operational problems, and 16% of its storm overflows were operating illegally. It's one of 3 firms in England who have received record fines totalling £168 million as sewage spills into the country's rivers and seas more than doubled last year. The regulator's boss says they uncovered a catalogue of failures in how they invested in and ran their sewage works.
Identified a number of operational failures at Thames. So some of this is sometimes about companies not investing ahead of demand, but also in the Thames's case, we identified it as just simply operational failures, failure to maintain assets, failure to operate assets, and therefore that impacting the capacity that they had available to treat wastewater coming into the works.
I've already announced further special measures that the water companies will be placed under. That includes making water bosses face criminal charges for persistent law breaking of the kind that we've seen. We'll ban the payment of their multi-million pound bonuses. That money should have been spent on fixing the sewers, not siphoned off into their bank balances. And we'll ring fence customers' money that is intended for fixing the sewage system.
The threat of fresh fines has again raised questions about how much companies like Thames Water can afford to invest in its infrastructure. Struggling with debts of more than £15 billion, this latest proposed fine has made an already bad situation for the UK's largest water firm even worse.
And Kieran joins us live now from Thames Water's headquarters in Reading. Kieran, who's going to be responsible for footing this bill?
Well, Andrew, Ofwat have clarified that no money, no fines will be coming from the customers' pockets. So that helps breathe a sigh of relief to the 16 million customers that use its services and are already going to be seeing their bills going up by £99 over the next 5 years. But Thames Water are no stranger to fines. For example, in 2017, they were handed a £20 million one for large leaks. And it was only in June where it was fined £40 million for dividend payouts. Now, all of this is under a shadow of a huge financial crisis for the firm. They have a £15.2 billion debts mounted and admitted it only has enough cash to keep going until May next year. And if they struggle to find any fresh investments, then the government might have to step in. And to give you a bit of context to all of this, this specific fine equates to about 9% of its annual turnover. So it's a huge amount. And in a statement today, Thames Water told us that they take this matter very seriously and have cooperated at every stage of Ofwat's investigation. We regard all untreated discharges as unacceptable, even when they are permitted, and are taking action to improve the health of our rivers as a key area of focus and investment. This is the latest stage in the investigation process, and we will continue to cooperate fully. We are encouraged that Ofwat recognises that in order to resolve the issues identified, any redress needs to be deliverable, affordable and financeable. So Thames Water can appeal this decision, and they have until the September the 10th, after which the watchdog will make its final decision. So a serious list of charges here, and accountants in the building behind me have their work cut out to find that cash.
Kieran Fitzpatrick, thank you.